Yeah, isn't it incredible to see the storm system, what it's been able to do? 5 hours over the mountains of Puerto Rico, guys, and then comes right back out unscathed. Gets up to a major hurricane, Category 3 across this region. And, the storm comes ashore, and we know of the 22 weather stations in Puerto Rico, 21 knocked out of commission because of the ferocity of the storm. But on the backside of it right now, we're seeing tremendous storm surge into the Dominican Republic. We're seeing heavy rainfall come on from the southern periphery right over the island that is made up of about 60% of the land area being mountains in Puerto Rico. Moving at about 10 miles an hour, but again, 115-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Model guidance on this takes it very close to places such as Turks and Caicos. Storm surge threat there, meaning water above dry ground as high as 12 feet is what is expected across that region. It could skirt just to the east of the island, but again, the reverse flow on that does bring in the storm surge into the islands, and then models take this pretty high confidence initially to the north and then still beginning kind of veering away from the eastern coast of the United States. But I want to talk about something because we know with Jose, it is one of the longest living systems we've seen since 1980. Now we're talking going on 16 days that this storm has kept its tropical characteristics. It's still parked off the northeastern coastline. The reason I touch on this is because Maria has the same sort of a track in mind, potentially parking off the eastern coast by early next week to the middle of next week as a Category 1 hurricane, basically falling into the same trap, which are the steering environments in the atmosphere that are so weak across this region. So have the European model in blue, the American in red. Notice confidence is high on where it's headed, but it still just goes and meanders off the east coastline, and that could bring in the same threat we've seen with the storm system with Jose, where it's sitting there, it's keeping it unsettled, keeping the shoreline dangerous, and of course producing some heavy rainfall at times as well on the coast.
¿Por qué ustedes no están en los albergues? ¿O pues no pueden correr peligro? ¿No ha venido nada?
Dangerous Hurricane Maria churning slowly to the north and to the west. And over the next 24 hours, we'll continue to see improvement here throughout Puerto Rico, but still the concern for heavy rainfall. Squally conditions working their way through. As we go throughout today, it's going to be northeastern and northern areas of Hispaniola. Again, talking about northern and northeastern areas of the Dominican Republic here, talking about hurricane force wind gusts. We could see 10 to 15 inches of rain, locally higher amounts, especially over the mountainous terrain. And then as we venture toward the overnight, where you see the hurricane warnings, we're expecting that potential again for a storm surge of 6 to 10 feet for the Turks and Caicos Islands, upwards of 4 to 8 inches. Some areas could see more, and hurricane force winds. Gusts here could be topping 100 miles per hour. Notice where we've seen the discontinuation of the warnings for Puerto Rico and St. Croix, but we'll still see squally conditions, and we will still have bands of heavy rain. So another thing I need to mention here, the flooding will continue into Puerto Rico. The flooding will continue in toward St. Croix, and it will continue to increase throughout Hispaniola throughout the day, and then tonight and eventually into tomorrow, it's more so going to be making its move into the extreme eastern Bahamas. And notice the impacts again we're talking about today. Again, these were the greatest impacts more so on Wednesday. We'll still see, again, some bands of heavy rain and squally conditions into Puerto Rico today. But by and large, the highest winds and the heaviest rain will shift its way again throughout today here into northeastern portions of Hispaniola, along with dangerous seas. Here's what to expect on into Friday. Notice how more so the area of emphasis focuses in toward the Turks and the Caicos Islands, and it'll continue to spread to the north. So again, we're watching this as it moves to the north and the west. We are anticipating this continuing to strengthen back to a major hurricane and even a Category 4 as we venture into early Friday.